There are all kinds of business models that you can choose from. But for me, one of my very favorite business models is selling some kind of product. And business is not easy, especially when you are a beginner. And selling services or business models like that can really trip you up if you're a beginner. But there's a much easier business model when you can simply find a product out there in the market and you put it up in your own online store, and now you're actually getting the business of selling. And all you gotta do now is you just gotta promote. You just gotta promote your product, right? And the more and better well known you become, you and your product, the more money you're gonna make in the long run, and the more successful your business is gonna be. So that's what I call the product-based side hustle business model, and it's what I recommend that you really go for, especially if you're a beginner. Now, there's at least 3 steps to really making this thing work. So let's go over them really quickly. The first step you want to take is, once you've picked out a product, you want to actually build up a personal brand, right? Like nowadays, a lot of business is really done on the basis of personal brand. Like, think about the biggest celebrities you know, and some of them that have become super successful. Like, look at Mr. Beast. The only way he was able to make Mr. Beast Burger and Feastables and all his other products such big hits was based on him having a massive personal brand and people knowing who he was. And so naturally, when he announced the product, people that already knew him and trusted him were curious and said, well, I gotta check out this chocolate bar, I gotta check out this burger, I gotta check out whatever he's putting out. So that's the first step, is you want to build a personal brand. Now, building a personal brand is not something you do overnight. It's going to take you at least 6 months to get any kind of traction at all. But you got to do it because that's the roadmap, right? Even Mr. Beast had to start from zero on YouTube before you could become the biggest YouTuber in the world. Now, once you have a personal brand established, then you want to do what I call a sales blitz. And what this is it's a sustained sales campaign where you're going to go out there and really try to make a lot of sales of your products in a short, maybe 4 month period, right? And what this does is it really gets your product to really start selling in the market and really start selling well. And this is really where you're gonna make like your first serious taste of serious money, right? Because before, once you are building your personal brand, you might not have been making any kind of money at all. You might have been making zilch. But that's all part of the process. But once you have that personal brand, then you want to get into selling season and really be selling all out. Now, once you've made maybe 10K, 20K in product sales, you get into like phase 3 of the process that I recommend. And this is where now you don't want sales to be just a blitz. You don't want this to be just a campaign. You want this to now be a way of life where you are getting consistent everyday sales of your product. This is really how you go from side hustle to full-time business, because now you're gonna go from making a few sales, maybe a few $1,000s a month, to now you're sustainably making sales every day, and eventually over maybe like a 14-month time period, you're gonna get potentially as far as 25K a month in product sales, which would put you on a run rate to be able to make like $250,000 or more in product sales a year. And now you got something so much more than a side hustle. You got a real business, and you got a self-sustaining business. So that right there is the roadmap to how you can actually become rich and famous with a product-based side hustle. Now, you can also grab some of my free resources to help you with your side hustle journey. The links will be in the description.